Hi everybody and welcome along to this Yoga Orkney online session. So it's suitable for all levels, to beginners to people who've been practicing for some time. And really I try to incorporate as many options as I can in classes so that we all feel that we can get something out of it. If you have any concerns, please do ask or ask your healthcare provider, specifically if you're managing a condition that's unique to you. You know best, but please feel free to get in touch. Please make sure that the place that you're exercising in is suitable, that you have had a look for any hazards, you have a nice clean area to work with, and yeah, just work at your own pace, at your own level, and I hope you enjoy. And then things to think about when we're doing Pilates is how your back feels general day to day and your hips as well. We're going to be doing some roll down movements. Now if you can find good abdominal engagement and stop any twinging in the back, that's great, you can go ahead. If you feel that the back and the hips need a little bit of support, then I'll give you options for that as well. And we're focusing on breath tonight and the principle of centering. So centering is basically from the thigh and shoulders as well. And in classic Pilates classes, it was this really heavy bracing of the abdominal region, but one, that can stop a lot of movement, which is not necessarily a good thing. And two, if you're really flexible, it's just going to cause you problems around your ribs and your spine, which we don't want that. We want to do the opposite, basically. Good, we'll give it a little minute yet. And then it's just doing the best that you can. You can't really do the breathing wrong as long as you're breathing. We don't want any passing out, any holding of the breath. Ideally, that's ideal. And then sometimes the cues in my classes are a little bit different from what you might be used to. So I don't decide where you put your feet or your hands when you're kneeling. You decide all those things. So I'll just give you the framework from how you might want to decide that. So it might be a little bit different. It might feel the same, which is great. Good. A few more. Who else? Hi, Eleanor. I can invite people. Good. Good to know. I don't normally log in here. Hi, Lorraine. And as well, please don't force yourself into any kneeling, like this, kneeling hands and knees. What we do, this was in a yoga course that I did last year, we use this carrying angle of the arms. So while we're waiting just now, you just naturally turn your arms out to the side, and then the width that your hands are apart is roughly the right kind of width that you would want to be kneeling. So often you'll be cued to pull the arms in under the shoulders, but it doesn't really engage the muscles around the chest so much. Things you can do: move the fingers, walk the hands forward and back. All things you can do to help save the wrist. When sometimes, like this happens like 1 out of 10 times, if you get a nice good brace of your abdominals, then you'll feel that the weight's kind of lifted sometimes out of the hands, but for me it's not every single time. You can always make fists as well. Hi Mandy, brilliant. So we'll come up to standing, and anybody else who's there can join us. I've been gardening in my bare feet again, so apologies for that. I must wash my feet when we get going. So give your legs just a little shake out. Do let me know if the music is a little bit loud. It's loud for me, but it's usually really quiet. We'll go for this. Good. And then you're going to find a nice, comfortable standing position. And what that means is when you stand here, that you start to feel some of the muscles in the legs, in the abdominals, bracing a little to hold you up. So if your feet are too narrow, then you're going to sway all over the place. And if they're too wide, we're not going to be able to move enough. So just see how you feel. I like a little bend in my knees, but everybody is a little bit different. And then you're going to take these hands, heel of the hands, onto the sides of the ribs, and you let your fingers kind of wrap around. So everyone's ribs again, a little bit different. You just want to feel the ribs underneath the hands. And then you're going to breathe in and you want to feel the ribs kind of move out into the hands, and then just like you're blowing out a candle, see if the ribs kind of move in. Breathe in. You see my legs have like straightened already. And then breathing out, like you're blowing out a candle. Breathe in. Arms move out with the ribs. And then breathing. So you want to kind of feel this like up and down movement. Squeeze inwards. Breathe in. Good. And this is called lateral breathing. And when I do that nice out breath, I feel my back muscles waking up as well. So you might feel this in different places. That's fine. Breathe in. And we might come back to this breath in a few of the different movements that we're going to do this evening. Breathe out. Well done. Have a little roll through the wrists. Have a little shake through the feet. Good. And then just going to send the fingers out and then in. So we did this a little bit last week, with the feet especially. And it does something magic to the arms. I don't know what that is. It just engages the muscles kind of all the way up the arms, all the way up the feet, and encourages them to stay engaged. Good. Have a little shake out. Roll the right shoulder, then the left one. Just this nice easy shoulder shrug. And then you might want to bring your attention back to the centre again. So I point at belly button just because it's the middle point of that centre, then switch direction. Good. Lift that right knee up and down, left knee up, and you're just shifting your balance from one side to the other. Good. Which will wake up the oblique muscles in the waist. There's lots of things going on in the feet as well. Good. And then back down one more time, right leg. Then we're going to add a movement. Whoa, left leg. Good. And then a little shake out again. So find that nice steady positioning with the feet. You can do this. So we're going to lift the right leg and the left arm. It's totally up to you. If this arm helps you balance out to the side, go ahead. Or you might want two hands behind the head. Try not to pull too firmly with the arms. Keep the head nice and relaxed back into the arms. If your shoulders don't like this external movement outwards here, keep them pointing forwards. They don't have to be pinging all the way out here. So lift that right leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Whoa. Breathe in, centre. Breathe out, foot down, other side. Breathe in. Lift the left leg. Remember that lateral breath. Breathe out. Twist. I think I need the extra help with the balance tonight. Breathe in. Breathe out, down. Breathe in, right leg. Left elbow. So this is a bit of focusing as well. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, left side. Now you might just be switching arms. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whatever helps you here. Breathe in. Good. Breathe out. So this is good work for the butt muscles as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more each side, then we're done. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Can we almost get the elbow? Breathe out. To touch that knee. One more. Really tricky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good. Breathe out. Roll into those shoulders. One of my favourites to ease out the shoulders is thumbs down, thumbs up, and that little flap. And I like to just cross the opposite arm over each time. A little bit like that, but it doesn't really matter. I find it's just quite a nice one to ease out the shoulders. So it's actually quite tough holding up here, whether it was one arm or two. You might want a little twist. Make sure you let the feet and knees come with you here. Good. So we've had a little back bend, we've had a little forward fold, we've had a rotational movement, and we've kind of mixed what plane they're moving in as well. So rather than just bending forwards, we took a little twist at the same time. Now anytime we're doing like diagonal, then feel free just to do arm or leg, because we're going to do that same thing, kneeling and also on our back this evening, so you'll feel how different it is. Good, so we're going to turn. If you're using a mat, to use the mat long ways. Just go with whatever you have around your space, whatever way you need to move is fine. Now if you're feeling hips and back generally, then all you're going to do is reach down and touch the floor and then come back up to standing. And then you just maybe switch arms or two arms and then coming up. So it's basically like a squat. You're using all the lower body muscles, a little bit of exercise for the back as well. If you would like to try a roll down, then you can give it a go now. So the arms lift up, take that deeper bend in the knees. As you breathe out, you roll forward. So there's a slight tuck of the chin, chest in, abs in. We're folding forwards in this big C shape here. We don't want it all just to hang in the low back though. If you know there's some arthritis or osteoarthritis in the spine, then just you bend down and then you come back up. And then to roll back up, push the floor away, breathe in. Feel that chest expand, and then as you breathe out, push the floor away, and you want to find those reconnections again, lower abs, chest, and then that tiny lift of the chin. So quite a nice guide is if you just kind of look slightly up the wall. We'll do that again, breathe in. Breathe out, forward, so you have to kind of bend those knees, bend chin, chest, abs. We're not folding from the hips. Whole thing rolls over. Remember, you just bend down and touch the floor. Inhale here. Exhale. Good. Up you come. Arms can circle. One more time. Inhale at the top. Exhale. So every time you exhale, just allow that to be a little bit of engagement. Down we come. Good. And then floor, push it away. Find again, abs, chest, chin. Good. Arms circle. We're only going to do half of one now. Inhale. I can't reach all the way up here, but if you can, go ahead. Rolling down. So if you think about the spine, like a little bit of a bike chain, one link at a time. And then you walk those arms forward, downward dog position. If you don't want to walk the arms forward, you kneel first, and then up. And then I always just take a marching version of this posture. So that nice wide arm placement, use it now. And then just like your balance, elbow to knee, see if you can do it here as well. This is a really good core exercise here, our center. Good. And I like to just play around with lifting one arm off completely. And the one thing that we all get in downward dog is upper body strengthening, core exercise if you're going from side to side. Hands down, knees hover just off the floor. Meet your thighs, they're part of your core as well. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift up again. Breathe in, knees come down. Exhale. Breathe in, push. How are those shoulders doing? Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale, up. Now you can keep the knees as bent as you like. Exhaling down. Good. On to the knees this time. You might want to push the hips back. You might want to sit here and have a little shake out for those wrists. This one, always good, or wavy. Absolutely fine. The classic ones just to stretch or shake out any tension in the wrists. Good. So roll down. Really nice for finding the core engagement. Mainly it's a back stretch as well, but like I mentioned before, for lots of reasons, then it might not be available for you. Sometimes I love the roll down, sometimes my back doesn't let me do it. So it just really depends on how you're doing, how you're feeling in the evening. So that's why the options are there. Come on to hands and knees. So you might want that wide grip again. You can come onto forearms. I always demo this because it's the one I can show you. My arms are miles shorter than my legs, so this is just horribly uncomfortable for me. But you might want to bridge the gap with a couple of pillows off the couch, or you might just be quite happy on your hands and your knees here. So we'll go for the right leg first, stretch it back. Now a nice option as well is maybe as the right leg stretches back that the left arm comes down, and don't try and line up your arm with your mat. So from here, lift that right leg up and just down, up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. We want to find the hips really steady, and the steadier we keep the hips, the more the abdominals have to work. If the breath puts you off, just breathe normally. Or we're inhaling up, exhaling down, and every time you exhale, this tiny little lift of your abs. Can we feel our butt muscles yet? So sometimes, if we feel the back of the thigh, the hamstring first, might be an indicator that we need to do some work on getting those glutes to wake up, sometimes. Good. Hold it up here. Now you're just going to point to the toes, heel. Toes, heel. Toes, how are those abs doing? Can you find them? Just that little breaks, that little encouragement. How heavy are we feeling on the front of the body? Keep going, toe and heel. Anybody that did Pilates last Thursday, your calves will maybe remember this one. Good. Keep the toes circle around one direction, so like the size of a dinner plate with the big toe. Around. Inhaling, exhaling. How's that butt muscle now? I definitely feel the back of my leg now. You might want to keep a little bend in your knee, that's fine. You might want to put the foot down anytime. We're going for 8 to 10, other direction, same thing. Anybody else notice that little sag in the back there? Abs in, long, long, long. Even if that makes the movement smaller or slower. Good, inhaling. Are we keeping everything lined up here? Reach through the spine, crown of the head. 2, 1. Now bring that right knee in and kick it back. Inhale in, kick it back. Inhale in. See if you can reach all the way back here. Inhale in, exhale back. How are your wrists? Do you need options? Good. Hold it here, lift up, up, up. How's that supporting leg now? Up, up. Good, breathe in. This time exhale here. Inhale back. Exhale. Now you can come straight down the middle. Absolutely fine. Right in here. Good. Or you might want to come to the side. And it'll be slightly more challenging to keep the hips steady-ish. How are we doing? 2 more. Good. Then hold it up here. Push to that foot. Left, left, left. Left, bend the knee, left. Now you want to go back to the straight leg, that's fine. Up, up. Can we find that butt muscle now? Have we let go of those abdominal muscles? Good. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Well done. You might want to take that right knee and cross it behind the left leg, or you might be quite happy here. And pushing the hips back some. How was that? Was that alright? A little bit of a slow burn or a quick burn. And you might feel as well that the left leg that wasn't working feels just as challenged as the right one. Good, now up you come. Now you can just move to the second leg, the left leg now. I'm just going to turn around so that's the leg that's facing you. And we're going to do that whole sequence again. Good. How are we doing those that's joined? Good. Hi Claire. Hi Peter. Hi Basha. Hi Mum. Hi Maureen. Good. So that left leg comes back. Remember you may need an option here for your hands, for your wrists. Even this like half a hand's width forward can make all the difference, or turning the hands out. Go with your instinct on that one. Up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Can you find those abdominals? And again, it's not a strong crunch in, just a little lift on the way back down for that foot. How's your lower back? You might need to make that lift a little lower. You might find the butt muscles a little bit sooner on this side because they stabilised you on the other side. Hips nice and steady. We might tend to open and shut the hips here, but looking down towards the floor. Good. There's a few bar concept ladies on tonight, so headlamps looking forwards. That's what we were taught on our training. Your hips are like headlamps shining forwards. Don't know if that's good memories or bad ones. All good. Hold it up here. Okay, and you're just going to push the toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Good, abdominals. Now this is a nice smart movement because it engages the pelvic floor here, which is the bridge between your upper and lower body. And you don't want to interfere too much with trying to stabilise through the pelvic floor, I think. But it's just a nice neat unit. You get those deep lower abs, inner thighs, glutes, and really mean it. Push that heel, push the toe. How are we doing? Shoulders and wrists, lengthening through the spine. Good. And then you could keep here, whether the toe is pointed or the heel, it's totally up to you. Wait, I've gone one too early. Point the toes, everyone point. Circle around. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And every time you exhale, that little reminder to tighten the corset around the middle of the body, just a tiny little bit more. Good. Try not to let those ribs pop forward. Other direction. That was a quick 10, wasn't it? Round, round. Anybody's butt refusing to move now. Good. Around, around. 2, and then 1. And now here you can choose the foot position. So inhale, knee to elbow, exhale, back behind. Inhale. And remember, do take the option to kneel on your forearms. Exhale. A little bit less clever on this side. Working all the way around the seat, the glutes, the back of the thighs, abdominal and waist. It is the center of the body after all. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Remember, you can stop and take a breather. You know, 6 to 10, 5 to 10, whatever. Turn again, and we're going to lift that foot up, 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 up. Good, you might want to bend the knee and lift. Up, up. If it makes it worse, or if you feel it's an unhelpful sensation, maybe right underneath the smile of the butt, then go back. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, back. Breathe out, forward. Inhale. Sorry if you've been gardening today. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You keep me right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Good. Now take that left leg behind the right. Or you're here in a child's pose or hero pose. So child's pose, this one. Hero pose, sitting up. I actually find this is a stronger stretch when I need it, without crossing the legs over. But as ever, everybody is a little bit different. Inhale. Exhale. And then you're just going to sit up, have a circle of those wrists, a little shake. How's that? A bit of a surprise? That was a bit of a surprise for me, I must say. So we're going to do something similar to that, lying on our back, in just a little moment, okay? And it's really similar movements, but we're changing the way that gravity is acting on the body, and it really changes the feel. So lots of different options to work really similar muscle groups. So if you do have an injury or you do have specific requirements, that you can still work muscles, but you know, in just different ways. But first, plank. So you can choose that nice wide arm placement. This is a nice option here, grasping the hands. You do not have to bring your arms parallel like this. This is the only time I've ever injured my shoulder, was when I was trying to force my elbows in. So I like to clasp here and allow a nice natural angle. See how you feel, up on your hands or onto that clasp V. Now if you're working on your knees, try walking the knees back a little, finding the center of the body. So hopefully these glutes can be encouraged to do some work. Or we're here in this plank position. So see how you feel. In gymnastics, they teach this like this, arching, hollow, out through the middle of the body. Some other classes you're told to drop your chest down. Can you feel your abs? Can you feel your ribs? Can you feel the thighs and the butt and the upper body? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, Try not to let that butt stick up to the air. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Knees come down. I don't think there's any form of fitness whatsoever where they don't involve a plank of some type. So you're going to lie onto your back. Options. You can roll to your side and lie down, or if your back feels good, you're going to roll down from here, just like your standing roll down, and then gently bring the knees. I also get that little shake of my abs working hard. So you might just want to take a little ease out here, and you might think, thank goodness we're lying down. That won't last for too long. So some nice options. If you're on a mat, here, look, holding the mat, it's not going to slide anywhere because you've got the body line on it as well. Option as well is to slide the hands underneath the hips. So I find that's quite nice, and it tilts the pelvis just a little bit to allow this abdominal engagement. We do not have to squish our back and print it onto the floor. What we're looking for is something a little bit more subtle, not for the abs though. Neutral spine in the back. So when you just lie here without thinking about it, that just gap between the back of the body and the floor is what we're looking to maintain whilst bracing the abdominal muscles. So it can be tricky, neutral spine, but basically you're holding the spine in this neutral curve, and that's what gives your abdominals a challenge. Thinking about the hips, not rocking side to side in either direction, up or down, forward or back, that as well helps with the abdominals. So you're going to float the legs up, 1 and 2, into this tabletop position. It's already hard. So you want your knees roughly over your hips, and then to make it easier, the feet either sneak up or down. So you can judge for yourself, where do you want to feel the effort? Now you're going to take this right leg. So watch where my hand is here. The whole leg lowers down in one unit, and then lift up. So what we don't want is the foot just to tap really close to the butt and everything gets switched off. Other side, left side. Now I like to put my hands on my hips because I'm naturally quite flexible. I find it really difficult to feel where my body is, and I often think that it's doing things that it's not. So with my hands on my hips here, I can feel that they are only slightly moving side to side, up and down. So you keep that tap going. Good. Out, breathe out. Inhale in. Exhale out. So you can see how this is similar to the standing balance that we did in the warm-up, or that movement where you brought your knee close to your elbow while you were on your hands and knees. So what we don't have here is the upper body supporting the movement, but we do have a lot more abdominal engagement having to happen. Now see how it feels. You might want to try 2 legs. So you want to stop before the back significantly arches up and off the floor. So it might be here and then up. And once you've done a couple of those, you might want to go back to one leg and the other. So if you take the feet down, I'll just show you, and lift the back up, you've lost that abdominal engagement and you've brought your back into this spinal back bend. So a couple more times, down and up. Using that exhale when the going gets tough. Good. Hands come behind the head, and just for a little moment, feet down on the floor. So often the hip flexors here will get tired out by that work. So you might have heard that you shouldn't be feeling it there, but of course you're going to feel it there because it's a huge involvement in bringing the leg close to the body. At this point I quite like a stretch, just one leg out and a little kind of shuggle of the foot side to side, rolling out at the hip here. But if it doesn't suit your knees, then you can just drop in and out here. And then the other side. So that movement we did, standing and also kneeling, we're going to bring the elbow and the knee together. So float those feet up, 1, 2. Now what you might want to do is just bring a hand, opposite hand to knee, and the head can just really relax back into the hand. You may want to take that a little bit further and do that crisscross exercise. So as you come through the center of whatever option it is that you're taking, really light on the upper part of your shoulder blades. Good, and if you are extending your legs, don't drop them too low. This is quite a nice option, toes down to the floor. So you might be here, fine, just a little bit of a twist. So what version of this exercise has been your favourite so far? Was it the balancing one? Have we erased that from our memories already? I have found balancing really hard since we've been in lockdown. How's that centre doing? Can we feel thighs, abdominals, a little something around chest and shoulders? So I'm just taking an exhale with each crossover here, breathing in the middle. Are we thinking about that neutral spine? One more this way, one more the other way. Well done. And then keep the knees floating here. So the abs are not quite allowed to switch off. Remember, you can have your toes down, heels lifted, so it's still a little brace here, or you just bring the heels down. Arms stay floating up here. So I'm going to put a little timer on. Now work here. Knees a little bit away. This is actually, I find this quite hard. You're just going to reach the arms up. Now you can move them away a little, forward. Clasping is quite nice. So this gives me a deeper sensation in the abdominals. And remember those feet up or down. We'll take the heat off, in or out of the knees a little bit as well. And we kind of recreate some of the feelings around kneeling. We're halfway there, in case you're wondering. It's quite hard, isn't it? You're just floating your legs up and your arms up. Your whole back's on the floor, in fact you're lying down. What could be so challenging about that? And if you do notice the knees sneaking in, maybe that's what you need. Maybe you want to push them away. I have to time it because I lose all sense of time. 10, 9, 8, 7, abs, 6, breathing. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently, feet down. 1, 2. Awesome job. Now we're going to come into bridge position. You're fine to allow your feet to move in and out. You may want to turn your knees out or your knees in a little bit. You do not have to keep the thighs parallel here. Lifting the hips up, pushing the feet down. Now if this is one of the ones you feel a little tweaky in your back, sometimes pulling on the mat can really help. It closes the chain of muscle engagement. So here there's like a lot of floating around. As soon as you grasp onto your mat and pull down, then it just closes that kind of kinetic chain, which helps your joints, which if you're tweaking in your low back, it is a joint. And we want this one to be more of a, well, it's usually more of a stretch after that, but I don't know, the bottom has kind of worked hard this evening as well. Good, and then slowly lower those hips down. Now you can do that one vertebrae at a time. See how you feel. You might just want a little swish side to side. I'm just checking in on the time. We're Saved by the Bell. It's going to be a stretch. So I was going to do some side work, but we'll make it a stretch instead. So bring your right leg on top of the left thigh. Now if that's really uncomfortable, maybe just crossing the legs as you may in a chair, heels, crossing. You might just want to knock the knee in and back to facing upright as well. If you have hip problems or your hip feels a little bit sore sometimes after classes, don't rotate out, try rotating in instead. I like a little swish side to side. You may want to lift the supporting leg, the left leg off the floor. We did quite a lot of work on the hips. Anytime that the leg is moving back behind you, that's a glute job. But often here, because of our modern lifestyles or for other reasons, the hamstrings, the back of the leg takes over instead. You might want to float that leg back down and switch sides. So again, it's not about forcing that knee as far away as it'll go, just a little kind of shake, a little roll side to side. If you do want to add a little press, then you can, if you know that's good for you. And then you're going to maybe try lifting. You can always lift and lower back down as well. It just all depends really on how your body responds to that. what your natural anatomy kind of likes and doesn't like. I just kind of like this shimmy side to side. Good, feet come back down. You're going to take the right arm up and out over the head. You're looking for the stretch along the side body, the chest maybe. So for some it's going to be all the way out to the side. For others of us it's going to be more diagonal or over the head. Same thing, other side. I have to move where my arm just kind of reaches onto the bed, which is quite nice, but it's not what I'm after for this stretch. So this is stretching pecs, the serratus muscles either side of the ribs. It's lifting the shoulder blades up so you get a stretch in the upper middle back. And depending on you, you might feel your biceps and triceps stretching here as well. Good. Now we're going to get back up to sitting now. So it's up to you. If you feel like your back feels good and you maybe don't want to try undoing that work, roll onto your side. If you're going to roll to your side, find the back of your arm here, push up off the arm so you're using your abdominals, and come up to sitting like that. It's quite a nice way to still get a little bit of abdominal work. You might want to roll through the middle here. Now, remember, you have this, all of this movement in your feet to help you up. So don't be afraid of moving the legs out. See if you can keep your heels on the floor, whether your legs are straight or not, and don't let them float up and off the floor. So this is like that standing roll down, but we're lying down. This is way harder for your abs. Arms come up over the head. Inhale, exhale up. See how you feel. Oh, lift up. Up, 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 up. And you might want to take a little lean forward. So I never know how that's going to go in the live moments. So instead of lifting up or peeling forwards, a diagonal line can help with that one. Just taking a little forward fold. Good, and then you're going to come up to standing. See if you can do it without any hands. Oh. Good, well done. Up to standing here, arms left. Little side bend. And back to the centre, other side. Just that little bend. And then over to the side. Good, one more time, over. Well done, arms lower down, take that little twist. Good, and that is us done for the evening, so well done to you. I've got to admit, I absolutely love, I love the centering classes. I love feeling the work in the centre of the body, the abdominals, the waist, but also it helps the postural muscles either side of the spine as well. And any excuse to get these glutes firing is good by me. So, how are we doing now? I'm just going to check in.